Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our first town hall of 2024. I hope this year is off to a good start for you. Nice to see those of you who were with us yesterday on our day-long retreat. It was exciting, lots of good stories. And if you missed it and you're thinking, when's the next one? Well, the next one is April 27th. We have 3 of them this year and hope that you will join us. But if you went on that one and thought, gee, I'd like a longer one, here's the ad for our upcoming in-person 6-day retreat in Malibu, California. And if you've never been there, it's really a beautiful place. I hope you can join us for some of these upcoming events. And Eddie is our tech person today. If you have any questions for him, if Lama has time to take questions, please send them in the waiting room. And I'm going to turn it over to Lama now.
Good morning, everybody. And a beautiful Sabbath it is. Although here in New England, we have some beautiful virgin snow. Beautiful if you don't have to go anywhere, drive the kids anywhere, etc. Walking with a cane or a walker. Anyway, I love the beautiful snow. It reminds me of Immaculate Conceptions, which came up yesterday. Maybe you've heard this phrase in some other religious context. But from the Dzogchen point of view, every moment, every thought, every sensation, every perception, every moment that arises and falls is like the fresh fallen virgin snow before it's been stepped on, tromped on, peed on by animals, turned into slushy city curb slush. Immaculate Conceptions that we can just enjoy. Let the snow settle in the lake of present awareness. Every snowflake so similar yet so different, all with the same basic structure. Need I explain crystallology? Yet each unique in its own way somehow. Isn't it a marvel, the unity of diversity? So many things, as above, so below, reflected in earth as it is in heaven, or in higher levels of oneness, of unity consciousness, of Mahashunyata, and so on. I love the snow. So beautiful. Even here in New England, covering all the old tombstones, the gravestones from the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th centuries, all equal under the snowfall of time, covering all differences. Isn't it interesting? There certainly do seem to be a lot of differences being made and argued and fought over these days in the world, in the outer world of war and conflict and borders. More locally, with all the multiple shootings, and even at home, domestic violence or inner conflict within our families, or inner conflict at war with ourselves on the inner battlefield of loneliness and alienation, low self-esteem, stress and anxiety. Anyway, ours is not a caravan of despair, as our friend Rumi of centuries ago said. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, sinner, however many times you've fallen, you're welcome. Step up, come again, come. This is a joyous Dharma of awakening, a positive Dharma, positive psychology, stressing our assets and opportunities and our shared abilities in our community here, how beautiful it is, even just to be able to get together, which we take for granted, but not every country in the world can one do this. Maybe you've read about these things or even experienced it yourself in other places, or even here, quote, at home, at the hands of prejudice, hatred, exclusion, Need I mention racism, anti-Semitism, and other things? Machoism, whatever. And yet we join together here in the spirit, fresh, innocent, starting a new year, letting go of the old. We don't say forgive and forget. We say forgive and remember, learn the lessons. Otherwise, we're fated to have to re-experience the same problems. We get left back or have to get reborn until we learn the lessons. So let's have a moment of silence for all those who are suffering in the world, even the little ones, the insects, the invisible bugs and creatures, dying in the freezing nights of the northern climes, dying in the arid droughts of other places, suffering at the hands of our unbalanced environment, our endangered environment that we seem to have a hand in endangering. It would be nice if we have the other hand in preserving, rebalancing, harmonizing, cleaning up, and fructifying. A moment of silence for all those in Gaza, in Ukraine, and elsewhere where hot wars are going on. That means we're shooting, not just cold wars, not just culture wars. Moment of silence included all in our prayers and practices, in our heart, in our love and caring today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think Meister Eckhart said gratitude is the only prayer I need. Thank you. Great master theologian, make it practical for all of us 24/7 here in 2024. Thank you. Open, at ease, relaxed. First attention, then at ease, at ease. Easy peasy. At home and at ease on our Buddha seat, our lotus seat. At home in front of our own hearth, our heart, our blazing hearth of inner light, the inner lamp, whose light, by which light we're guided, by which we see and are seen at the same time. Like God's radiant, transparent eyeball. As Ralph Waldo Emerson called it from his own mystical experience in his 20s, that set him on his path for life, as he said. Identifying with God's great, radiant, transparent eyeball. Unbelievable. What a transformation. A figure ground shift. He is us. Thank you, Ralphie. Transparent, translucent, iridescent, transrealescent, Imaho. All senses, transrealescence, essence, Imaho. The ens, beingness itself, love to one and all. To bring it down to earth, to try mysticism of Ralph Waldo Emerson, the first American philosopher, the transcendentalist, Thoreau's mentor and guru, Thoreau of Walden Pond, over the hill and through the dale here, who said, "I'd rather sit on a pumpkin than a throne." Good old Thoreau. And the other early American Buddhists who introduced Hindus and Buddhism to this country in the 1820s, 40s, 60s. Yes, the first translation of the Lotus Sutra into English was by H.D. Thoreau. Yes. Maybe these guys and girls are still reincarnated around here, maybe even among us or within us, who knows? Who's counting? It occurs to me, one of the prayers that I say, that I have in mind, that I never memorize, but I repeat it so many times, it's in there, from an old hymnal that I found when I was visiting my in-laws in Louisville, Kentucky once. I'm just going to repeat it as it says, without worrying about whether it's I or we, first person, or us collectively, without worrying about politically correct language. Maybe there's a male gender word in there, I don't know. Moving forward here, I am the place that God shines through. We are the place that God shines through. He and I are one, not two. He needs us where and as I am. I need not think, nor fear, nor plan. If we can be relaxed and free, he'll work his plan of love through me, through we. Make the prayer your own, friends. Don't pay attention to the inner lawyer and sophist, nitpicker. We are with God and in God forever. One has no existence apart from that. Who cares if we get attention from outside? Paying attention is the way, the truth, and the light, the way of awakening. Let's do it. Be like Mike. Just do it. Yes. If not you, who? If not now, when? Let's go. And together. No one can do it alone. Just sitting, just breathing, just being. So simple, yet not always so easy, since we're so complex, complicated, stressed, half out of our body. Living at a little distance from ourselves, like Leopold Bloom. Always leaning forward to the next moment, overlooking this one that's right beneath our our nose. Even if what we seek was there, we'd probably overlook it. We'd be distracted. We'd want to know what's next, what's new, what's different. Maybe we're missing something, or we can't hardly believe it. How could this be it? But what separates us from it with a capital T right now, whatever it is, however we conceive of it, do I have to fill in the blanks of all the hyperbole words? God, truth, reality, oneness, enlightenment, Buddha, Jesus. In our Dzogchen tradition, it says it's so close that we overlook it. It's so transparent that we hardly notice it. We see right through it. It's so close that we can't obtain it anew. It's within us. And the fourth deviation from the view, it seems too good to be true. We can't hardly believe it. You can look this up, the 4 deviations from the view. It's in the Book of Living and Dying and other places, the Dzogchen texts. So what's keeping us from it right now? What are we missing right now? Is there anybody here that's not comfortably, quote, at home or somewhere? Comfortable, quiet, having taken an hour off? I mean, what a luxury. We're not beasts of burden. We're not enslaved, being worked to death. Not to mention, most of us are not suffering from interminable torture or the torture of interminable chronic arthritis, a broken rib where every breath hurts, or other things like that. What's keeping us from it right now? Max, Joel, I don't want to put anybody on the spot. I can't even see you without my glasses on. Oh, it's you, David H. Joanne T. I thought we were all one. So many ones. 1 + 1 = oneness. Half plus a half does not equal oneness, I'll tell you. Don't be fooled by the illusion of Mr. and Mrs. Right. Better right your own ship, become Mr. and Mrs. Right, and you'll probably do right by yourself and others in every way. That's the path here of sanity, of wisdom, of love, compassion, and action, of sharing, and of daring to do so, not being afraid, not laboring on the illusion of scarcity, not being afraid to be open and vulnerable, ready to feel your feelings. I mean, nobody's attacking you. Why are you afraid of feeling those? Who wants to feel pain? But even just feeling your own feelings, why be afraid of that? Boys, I won't mention any names, Joel, to protect the guilty. They are us. Feeling is healing. It's one of its purposes when healthily processed. Love doesn't come from outside. Love comes through loving. As I've said before, and I'm going to keep saying, so many of us, of people, of the world, I mean, look at the young people, still looking for love, satisfaction, or whatever, in all the wrong places. Maybe some of the right places too. I don't want to be too harsh, but you know what I'm saying. Life is mysterious. We have to look deeper, wisen up, enlighten up, as well as lighten up, and not take it all so seriously. It's Sunday. We can afford to enjoy it. Go out and make a snowman, maybe with the kid, or a snow woman. Maybe it's the time of the snow woman. Although last time my friends and I made one, pretty quick it fell over from the protuberances in front, and I don't mean the carrot nose. You got to watch out for that and plan for it. Oh, builders of snowmen, of snow beings in the snow, like Wallace Stevens, who's snowman, nothing himself, saw nothing that was not there, and the nothing that is. You can look it up. Wallace Stevens, insurance agent of Hartford, great American poet. Both at the same time in the same person. I love that poem. I've never heard any Dharma teacher mention that in the infinite lectures about sunyata, about no self, about seeing through. Need I go on? Like the snowman, standing alone in the falling snow with eyes of coal, seeing nothing that is not there and the nothing that is. So beautiful. The nothing that is with a capital G, it's so cool. It ain't nothing, it's really something, ain't it? Shunyata, the luminous void, the womb of all the Buddhas. Like the theists pray, the less of me, Lord, the more room for thee. That's the great nothing. It's really something. Empty yourself and be full. something marvelous. Anyway, we're sitting together today. The family that sits together fits together. If it rhymes, it's Dharma. Actually, everything rhymes, like the falling snowflakes. Kalu Rinpoche, my root guru, the late great meditation master of the Kagyu lineage, 22 years in a cave yogi, famous in eastern Tibet in the 1940s and 50s, who died in 1989. Oh, look, there's his picture right over my shoulder on the altar next to Khenpo, Khyentse Rinpoche, and Avalokiteshvara, the Buddha of love, compassion. Kalu Rinpoche always used to talk about meditation, the pith instruction of Rangbab, self-settling with a hyphen, not about self, about things settling by themselves like snow flakes falling into a lake. All these thoughts, feelings, perceptions, technically known in Buddhist texts as arisings in the mind. Whatever arises in the field of consciousness, letting it just arise and fall, and watching the falling snow settle into the lake of open, luminous awareness, the ocean of awareness that never leaves its bed, no matter what's going on the surface, icebergs, waves, currents, or what falls into it. Source of all of the rain, source of the rivers and lakes, source of all. And yet it's reciprocal. It's hard to say what came first, the rains or the ocean, or the chicken or the egg. This is not nonsense. It's pointing beyond either or, beyond linear thinking, to something bigger, cyclical, more dimensional than flat lands, triangles and squares. How about spheres, cones, and rhombi? And the fourth dimension, including time. And the fifth dimension, that I forget what it is. My brother's a higher mathematician and neuroscientist at Johns Hopkins. He tells me they're up to 14 dimensions now that they talk about. I said, what the hell? You're always trying to one-up us. He said, I don't know what I'm talking about. He was trying to explain to me once the difference between infinite and endless. Oh my God. So many snowflakes. Immaculate conceptions, if we let them be, without overworking and overthinking it. It takes two to tangle, like Velcro. The hooks can't get you if you don't provide the rings. When things arise into consciousness, how we react makes all the difference, if, when, and how we respond, not just blindly react and get caught in habitual patterns, unfulfilling habits, and so on. That's where freedom lies, right in that moment. So just sitting, just breathing here, just being, slipping into natural meditation, at home and at ease in front of our own hearth, or the inner hearth, the inner lamp of the inner light, the clear light, the divine light, whatever you want to call it, the heart sun, the solar lotus, the heart chakra. Awareness with a capital A plus, pure presence with a capital P, just being with a capital B, not being a separate being, not identifying with the body, the gender, the nationality, the education level, the role in life. Well, that's fine and good to know when you need to, when it function. It's good to know who's the driver and who's the passenger, so you're not a backseat driver interfering with who's driving at the moment. It's not a permanent sinecure forever. The role of the moment. Anyway, when we sit to meditate, to contemplate, to let go and let be, it's a whole other story. Maybe that's a role or identity, but not much of one. We can don it pretty easily and just be. We don't have to be a separate being trying to get somewhere. What about me? Me, myself, and I, the three jewels? No, just being, just essence, as Kant called it, just being, not a separate being. You don't even have to breathe. Maybe that's the problem. Notice I didn't say stop breathing. You don't have to breathe. Are you doing it? Just stop trying and let it happen. Let go and let God do it. Let Buddha breathe through you. Buddha's good at mindfulness of breathing. Let Buddha breathe through you. You're not responsible for those karmic arisings, those thoughts, feelings, perceptions, moods, whatever. You're responsible for attending, for attention, for not falling asleep at the wheel, getting into all kinds of so-called accidents through heedlessness and inattentiveness and distraction. People are so distracted today, they don't even know which way to turn. And life's roundabout, going round and around. For thousands of years, it's been called the wheel of samsara. This is not new. Going around in circles like a dog chasing its tail. As I like to say, even if it catches it, so what? Accomplishing not much. Meanwhile, spending our whole life trying to do that. Or be happy. When did happiness become the goal of life? Of course, happiness is good, happiness is great. But maybe we need deep thrills, not just cheap thrills. Not just happiness, but all the way down deeper. Satisfaction, fulfillment, completeness, contentment, nirvanic peace and ease. Not just a moment smile on the lips, and then a lifetime of fibs and blips. You know what I'm talking about. Cheap thrills. What about joy, not just happiness? So we cultivate these virtues, these qualities. We practice letting go and letting be. We cultivate joy. There are meditations for cultivating and radiating joy, like mudita, rejoicing in the good fortune and accomplishment of others. In Yiddish, the word is kvelling, hard to define. Kind of like being proud of others' accomplishments, not just because it makes you feel like success. Giving without strings attached or reward need. Mudita in Sanskrit. Sympathetic joy, kvelling, cultivating joy in all the goodness and virtue in the world. Being a good sport, rejoicing in the victory, even if it's not your team. Tomorrow night's the college championship. I root for a good game. What does it really matter if University of Red or University of Green wins? What does win mean? And it's just a game anyway. Kids, boys, I think it's still mostly boys, playing a game for fun. Of course, some are playing it for many other reasons, but you know what I'm talking about. Just a game. Even to jump levels, even in war, it's said there are no victors. Many generals have said that. They lost so many, let's call them men for the moment. They lost so many of their owns. It's hard to be happy in victory. In war, there are no victors. I think even General Eisenhower said that. He said, for every battleship that we build, there are 100 schools that remain unbuilt. General Dwight D. Eisenhower, the master of D-Day, our 50s president, the guy that was putting golf balls into a cup on the rug of his White House office. Just a guy. He knew what life was about, I guess. He built the whole highway system all over America that we take for granted. Who remembers that? We didn't always have that. It's so easy to travel in our country now, thanks to his vision and his team. So it's beyond winning and losing. We don't have to be blown about by the 8 worldly winds, as we call it in Buddhism: pleasure and pain, loss and gain, praise and shame, and the other 2, I can't remember, criticism and something, elation. You look them up, the 8 worldly winds. Cultivating equanimity, contentment, Gratitude. As the theists say, thank you, Lord, for whatever comes. Not, why didn't I get what I want, Santa God? That's a little puerile, seems to me. So just sitting, just breathing. Breathing's a very important Buddhist practice, as I like to joke. Don't leave home without it. Just breathing. Don't even try. Let go and let Buddha do it through you. Buddha's good at this. Mindfulness of breathing. Don't think of it as your meditation, just sitting there like a Buddha on a log, or whatever you like a flower on a log, like a rainbow floating in open space. That would be, like a shining sun, like a lotus growing out of the mud and lift its face to the sun. However you want to see it, just sitting. Leave it alone. Leave your mind alone. It won't bother you so much. Let go and let Buddha do it through you. It's a great way to practice. Just sitting, just breathing, just being present and aware and wakeful, attentive in the flow. Not trying to get into the flow, recognizing the flow goes through us every moment. Joe. In the zone, the great Tao. The natural great perfection, the natural great completeness. Our Dzogchen tradition, our way of holding things, our view, our outlook, our Weltanschauung, our Gestalt, our worldview, our perspective. What word can we use for this? Our level of consciousness, not our nationality, gender, what team we're on or rooting for. A level of consciousness. How selfish or egotistical, or how unselfish or service-oriented and generous and caring. That's up to us. So we work on this. Even in meditation, letting go and seeing through reactivity, cultivating equanimity, being more centered, just sitting, just breathing, just being. How many times do I have to say this? Is such a basic meditation instruction. We don't have to cross our legs. We don't have to close our eyes. We can do it anywhere in life, 24/7. Here in 2024, daily Dharma, backyard bodhisattvas. We're standing on the corner waiting for the light change. We can breathe, relax, and smile. Have a moment of mindfulness. Reconnect with the view, or with God, or Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, whatever our refuge, our sanctuary, our solace is. Just sitting, just breathing, just being. Breathe, relax, and smile even now. Attentive, yet at ease. Attention and intention are the essence of contemplative practice, with or without words, music, mantras, chanting, visualization, or wishing and aspiring. Attention and intention. Awareness itself. Not just consciousness, even in dreams, you could be aware. Even in a coma, there's some kind of awareness, apparently. You can check up. Beyond awareness, which sounds so anthropocentric or human. Just being. In the light, the animating principle, that's kind of a little deeper or beyond words like consciousness and awareness, isn't it? When you have no will or agency in a coma, then how do you practice mindfulness or try to concentrate? You can't. Many have reported no will power, no agency, and yet you can let go. You can relax. You can trust based on your intuition, on your training, on your background. Louis Richmond writes about this in one of his books, the Zen teacher Louis Richmond of Marin County, one of my dear friends and colleagues. It's called Awakening Lazarus, how he returned from the deepest coma when the doctors gave him less than a 10% chance of surviving. And he reports how he heard what was going on in the room during the coma. So he was still, quote, aware, even though he's totally unconscious and unaware and had no will or agency, he said, but he could still rest in the light and just being, which he had learned in Zazen, and just sitting with his teacher, the great Suzuki Roshi, over the decades in San Francisco. Something we could all learn from. Prepare for conscious dying, even in this moment. Rest in the light. Let go of our self-improvement projects. Anyway, I'm trying to get into a little guided meditation, just sitting, just breathing, just being. As I like to say, breathe, relax, and smile. Suzanne, if you don't feel like smiling, at least breathe and relax. If you can't relax, what the hell? Just breathe. Oh, what the hell? Don't even try to breathe. Just be. I mean, how simple can it be? You already are. No effort required, Suzanne. So accomplished, striver one. I tried to write a one-man play once called The Striver, but I gave up. It was too much effort. Breathe, relax, center, focus, smile. That's the more advanced form. Center, focus. Sitting straight, erect, yet relaxed. With the, whatever they're called, the vertebrae piled one on top of another, straight. So the breath and the energy and the prana, subtle energy, circulates naturally. Not practicing breath holding or kundalini or breath of fire or anything fancy. Just let go and let Buddha do it if you like Buddha, or let whoever do it if you like someone, anyone, any superhero, any concept. Let the universe breathe through you. That will do. That's what's happening too. Again, if it rhymes, it's true. Stop the world and get off. Step off the treadmill of becoming, of staggering forward under the momentum of conditioning. Just step off the treadmill, the gerbil wheel. When you stop stirring and shaking the water, the clarity emerges by itself, as if from within. Stop stirring and shaking your conscious mind. Luminous, lucid awareness is there. A wakefulness. Whatever state of mind you think it is, just innate wakefulness, as we call it in Dzogchen non-dual tradition. Ever-present Buddha mind, innate wakefulness, Ritpa. Pure presence with a capital P. See? Seeing is freeing. Being is freeing. Dig it, as Buddha said. This breath, only breath, this moment, only moment, Imaho. Miraculous. Way to go. Thank you. Love you. Oh. Just breathe, cough, and smile, whatever. Don't even cough, don't even breathe, let go and let it all happen. That's the secret. Surrender to the flow, or whatever you call it, high or low. That will do. Don't give up, but let go, surrender. The Maha acceptance, radical acceptance, not picking and choosing. Letting go, letting come and go, letting be, not suppressing, letting come and go, letting be. That's the secret. Equanimity, not attachment. A freedom from overreactivity, pure presence. Is there a doctor in the house? Buddha said he was like a doctor. The Dharma practice was like medicine. We were like the patients. It was up to us to take it. Where's the doctor when I need one, Leo? Sick. I'm sick, man. As Vimalakirti said in the sutra, when they inquired about his health, when the afflictions of all beings are healed, I will be healthy again. This breath, only breath, this moment, only moment. Nowness, awareness, the true, unfabricated, organic Buddha within. You know, way to go. Thank you. Chigmala Sowadeb Ama Chigmala Sowadeb Uma Chigmala Sowadeb Kapo Ye Shinkilo Machig till we pray. Amachig Mala so adeb. Oh, unique mother, Prajna Paramita Hung Machig Mala so adeb. Pet Kusuntung Chinche. Oh, please bless our body, speech, energy, heart and soul, body and mind. Amachigman YouTube show. Mayan Chengam Panyu Tapa. Show him a way to go, let go. Mother Machig to you we pray. Mother Machig to you we pray. Hung Mother Machig to you we pray. Empower us through the white Om from your heart, forehead chakra beaming into ours. Empower us through the red Ah from your throat chakra beaming into ours. Empower us through the blue Hung from your heart chakra beaming into ours, transmitting the blessings, the inspirations of your body, speech and mind, heart and soul, energy and spirit, wisdom and love. May we attain your realization of perfect wisdom, prajna paramita, transcendental gnosis. Discerning, insightful wisdom and self-knowledge on one hand, and warm, empathic love and compassion and action on the other. The two wings of the bodhisattva, the bird-like bodhisattva soaring through the space of emptiness, winging its way to enlightenment, as they say. Or as I say, being there while getting there every step of the way. Like on a Boeing. I'm flying to Maui tomorrow on Hawaiian Airlines from Logan. I hope I'm on the right plane, that the door doesn't fall out or the window. Anyway, nice to see you all. I don't know if we should say goodbye, but farewell till we meet again. Everything is impermanent, tenuous, changing. Don't get depressed. I'm not making any predictions. I'm just joking. Somebody said, "Don't worry, you're on Hawaiian Airlines." And somebody else said, "Oh, they're owned by that other company that the door fell off of." Anyway, isn't life like that? Who knows what's next? That's why this is so important, this right now. And I don't mean just what is in front of our eyes. And the next moment, and the next minute, and whoever you're with today, and whatever is important to you as adults and mensches. Take it somewhat seriously. Prioritize it. Don't, quote, give yourself away in the wrong way. Don't abandon yourself. Self-giving is not self-abandonment. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus for the rest of us. Happy Sabbath. It's a day of rest from ordinary worldly occupations, a good time to settle into the spirit, to watch the snow fall. Thank you all. Love to one and all. Be well. Happy trails. And thank you, Eddie, for technologizing today. Do you have any announcements, Eddie, Menla, anybody?
Yes, we wanted to announce the masterclass that will be happening.
Oh, yes, good, thank you.
January 20th, and I'll share a slide for that real quick. But as always, we thank you, Lama, and safe travels.
You too, Brother Ed. And everyone on the path, safe travels on the path that you can't fall off of. It's so wide and deep. Love to one and all. Have a wonderful new year. And be well. Bye-bye.